13 News at 4 starts right now with breaking news on the global tariff battle.
Well, today, President Trump announced a 90-day pause for some countries. China is not one of them.
In fact, President Trump increased tariffs on Chinese imports to 125% effective immediately. He told reporters it's because of a, quote, lack of respect shown to the world's markets. So trading ended just moments ago at 4 o'clock. Here's a live look at the numbers. 4608, the Dow Jones Industrial, that was the New York Stock Exchange. The Dow Jones Industrial up almost 8%. It was a volatile day for stocks. At one point, the Dow up more than 3,000 points following Trump's tariff update when we learned tariffs will be paused for most countries. He claims this is all a negotiation tactic. Take a listen here.
I'm telling you, these countries are calling us up, kissing. They are dying to make a deal. Please, please, sir, make a deal. I'll do anything. I'll do anything, sir. And then I'll see some rebel Republican, some guy that wants to grandstand, say, I think that Congress should take over negotiations. Let me tell you, you don't negotiate like I negotiate.
So what does this mean for us? Economists say that tariffs will drive up the cost of many imported goods for consumers.
And many of the tariffs, keep in mind, on specific industries, they remain in place. That includes imported cars. Rich and I visited the Northside BMW dealer today in Indy, where they already are seeing the impact because, Rich, those tariffs took effect last week.
Right, and the pause again does not impact that tariff for the car industry. The Trump administration says today's pause on tariffs will not change that 25% tariff on imported cars and car parts that went in place April 3rd. That tariff is expected to hit European imports perhaps the hardest. I talked to the new car sales manager at Dryan Reinbold BMW at 465 in Keystone this afternoon. He says customers are asking how much the cost of a new car is going to go up and when is it going to go up. Now, BMW is offering a price lock right now for any cars that are ordered or manufactured before the end of May. The dealership sold over 100 new cars in March as customers were trying to beat those tariffs.
I think the manufacturers, holding off and thinking that maybe the administration, something will happen between the other countries and the United States and maybe the tariffs will be reduced or they'll go away. But at this point, nobody knows. We're anticipating there will be a tariff and that'll happen, but we don't know long term how that's going to affect us.
A true salesman, Steve Baker, says right now is a great time to buy a new car before the price goes up due to those tariffs. He expects the value of used BMWs to also go up due to fewer people buying the higher priced new cars. The entire dealership is impacted because those imported parts for your maintenance also under that 25% tariff, so more costs there as well. BMW SUVs are actually assembled in South Carolina. And exported then back to Europe and all over the world. But the transmissions and engines come from other parts of the world. They're imported, so the tariff still is impacting those cars as well.
I was talking to the head of the Indiana Manufacturers Association today, who told me so many companies that the common thread is the uncertainty. Just not knowing, and it's really hard to plan or to know how to adjust when things are changing literally, as we saw today, by the minute.
Right, and people will be confused, I'm sure, about the pause not affecting something like this that was already in place.
Right.
Yeah. All right. There's so much that's happening nationally and globally. We are doing our best to break it down for you here locally. Rich Nye, thank you so much. We have more news to continue.
That's right, covering it from all the angles. As we brace for potentially higher prices from tariffs, more of us are already frustrated by rising costs at the grocery store. Look at this, 84% of Americans describe prices as high. According to Purdue University's Center for Food Demand Analysis and Sustainability. They talked to 1,200 people across the country last month, apparently including Felicia.
Yes.
30% say they are specifically searching for more sales and discounts over the last year. A quarter of them have switched to cheaper brands to save money. That's up from 20% this time last year. And nearly half of all households, I thought this was interesting, 44% say they plan to grow their own food if they're not already doing that. Vegetables and fruit were most popular, although a third of them plan to have egg-laying hens.
Hey, the price of seeds.
Getting some chickens, lay some eggs so you don't have to buy them.
There you go. All right, and more breaking news now. The Indiana Department of Health has just confirmed 5 more measles cases.
It brings the statewide total to 6 cases, all of them in Allen County up in northeast Indiana. These new cases involve 3 minors and 2 adults. The initial case involving an unvaccinated minor was reported earlier this week. State health officials say all 4 minors were unvaccinated and the adult's vaccination status at this point is not clear. They also tell us all 6 Indiana cases are connected to one another, but so far there are no established links to outbreaks in other states, because we've seen a growing number of cases in some of our neighboring states, as well as, of course, down in Texas and New Mexico. We've also, by the way, learned that all of the people here in Indiana in these cases, they're all recovering. To the latest now on the Delphi murders case. Just released exhibits from the murder trial are giving us new insight into the man convicted of killing 2 teenagers.
So we've been listening to those recordings. They're of 8 phone calls between Richard Allen and his wife and to his mother while he made them in prison. In the roughly 45 minutes of recordings that were released, he repeatedly confessed to killing Libby German and Abby Williams.
So here's part of one conversation with his wife, Kathy. Listen to this.
Don't you ever say you did anything, because I know you didn't.
I think I did.
No, you didn't. Why would you say that?
Because I think I did.
No, you didn't. You know you didn't.
Ultimately, investigators say Allen confessed more than 60 times to a variety of people. His defense attorneys say he said those things because he was delusional and experiencing a mental health crisis. The prosecutor played the calls for jurors as a key part of the case against Allen.
Also this week, the public is getting to see for the first time nearly 3 hours of recordings where investigators interrogated Allen. During that time, Allen maintained he did not kill Abby and Libby.
You can watch all those videos and hear the audio. There are hours of audio and video, and you can watch and listen to it right now on WTHR Plus. Download our app on your TV, and when you do that, you can watch for free.
Well, if you step outside, you're gonna feel cold, you're gonna feel wet, you're gonna see wet, and well, you can kind of see cold with the amount of rain.
Well, we saw some mixed precipitation. Was that snow this afternoon?
We had a little
Indy?
snow, we had a little grapple, we had a little rain, we missed out on the kitchen sink.
What's
on this
grapple?
Think about Dippin' Dots there, just little icy pellets.
Nothing we want to see on April 9th.
Yeah, I don't think you want grapple for dessert today here. Yeah, you're right. And it happens sometimes, and this is where we are. We got the cloud cover. We still have some lingering showers. Temperatures haven't budged a whole lot today. Now we do have, it's kind of weird to say, but we do have a warm front coming in from the west. So it's squeezing out some of this moisture, some of this mixed precipitation. Eventually we're going to have a little bit of a lull in the action where we're not going to have a whole lot of precip for a couple of hours. 42 in Indy, 48 in Terre Haute, nowhere near where we should be. But we may sneak up close to 50 degrees here later this evening, but we are going to again have these on and off showers, southeast wind at about 15 miles per hour. So your sunset's at 8:18, a little shower action between now and then. We could have some rumbles of thunder overnight tonight. I'll have more on that. Thursday is a storm chance. Weekend still looking good. 7-day on the way here in a few minutes.